What if I told you that a devastating diagnosis could lead to the most profound love and renewal? It sounds impossible, right? But Ethan, a young athlete diagnosed with a degenerative muscular disease, found strength and hope in the most unexpected way. This isn't just a story of survival. It's a journey that challenges our beliefs about resilience, shows that love can flourish even in the toughest times, and reveals that sometimes the greatest rewards come from the most difficult challenges. Curious to see how Ethan and Sarah's story unfolds? Let's dive into this incredible tale of love, strength, and inspiration. Ethan had always been the embodiment of physical prowess and vitality. As a young athlete, his life revolved around training, competitions, and the thrill of pushing his limits. But all of that changed one fateful afternoon. After months of unexplained muscle weakness and frequent falls, Ethan decided to see a specialist. The tests were thorough, and the waiting was excruciating. The day of the diagnosis came with a somber mood in the doctor's office. Ethan sat on the examination table, trying to remain optimistic, but the look on Dr. Harris's face said it all. "Ethan," the doctor began, "the results are conclusive. You have a degenerative muscular disease." The words hit Ethan like a punch to the gut. His mind reeled, struggling to grasp the reality of what he was hearing. Degenerative muscular disease? What does that mean for my future? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Harris sighed, looking at Ethan with empathy. "It means your muscles will gradually weaken over time. There's no cure, but with the right support and treatment, you can still lead a fulfilling life. We'll need to start physiotherapy right away to help maintain your muscle function for as long as possible." Ethan felt like the ground had been ripped out from beneath him. The vibrant life he had known suddenly seemed fragile and uncertain. The drive home was a blur of emotions: fear, anger, and an overwhelming sense of loss. He thought of all the things he might never do again, the dreams that now seemed out of reach. But amidst the despair, there was a glimmer of determination. Ethan had always been a fighter, and he wasn't ready to give up just yet. He resolved to face this new challenge with the same tenacity that had fueled his athletic career. The next day, Ethan arrived at the physiotherapy center, feeling a mix of apprehension and hope. That's where he met Sarah, a dedicated and compassionate physiotherapist who would become his guide on this unexpected journey. Her warm smile and confident demeanor were instantly reassuring. "Hi, Ethan. I'm Sarah. We're going to work together to help you stay as active and strong as possible," she said, extending her hand. Ethan shook her hand, feeling a spark of hope. "I'm ready to fight this," he replied, his voice filled with determination. As they began their first session, Sarah explained the plan. "We'll focus on exercises to maintain your muscle strength and flexibility. It won't be easy, but with hard work and perseverance, we can make a difference." The initial exercises were challenging. Ethan's muscles protested against the unfamiliar movements, and there were moments of frustration when his body wouldn't cooperate. But Sarah was there every step of the way, encouraging him, pushing him, and celebrating even the smallest victories. "You're doing great, Ethan," she would say. "Every effort counts. Remember, we're in this together." Through the pain and the struggle, Ethan began to find a new rhythm. The sessions with Sarah became a lifeline, a beacon of hope in a time of darkness. She introduced him to adaptive sports and activities, showing him that his athletic spirit could still thrive, even in different forms. Ethan's journey had only just begun, but with Sarah by his side, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He realized that while his disease might change the way he lived his life, it didn't have to define him. He was determined to rewrite his story, one step at a time, and inspire others along the way. Ethan's first visit to the physiotherapy center was filled with a mix of anxiety and determination. The diagnosis had shaken him to his core, but he was resolved to fight back. As he entered the center, the sterile smell of disinfectant and the hum of exercise machines greeted him. He scanned the room, feeling a bit lost in this new environment. That's when he saw Sarah. She approached him with a warm smile, her presence immediately calming. "Hi, Ethan. I'm Sarah," she said, extending her hand. "I'm going to be your physiotherapist. Together, we'll work on maintaining your strength and mobility." Ethan shook her hand, feeling a glimmer of hope. "Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm ready to do whatever it takes." Sarah nodded, her eyes full of encouragement. "That's the spirit. Let's get started." Their first session began with an assessment of Ethan's current physical abilities. Sarah was thorough but gentle, asking him to perform various movements and noting his strengths and weaknesses. "We're going to tailor your therapy to your specific needs," she explained. "The goal is to keep you as active as possible." Ethan found himself opening up to Sarah in a way he hadn't expected. He talked about his athletic career, the challenges he faced with the diagnosis, and his fears for the future. Sarah listened intently, her empathy and understanding shining through. "I know this is a huge adjustment," she said, "but you're not alone. We're in this together." As they moved through the exercises, Sarah's expertise became evident. She guided Ethan through each movement, offering corrections and encouragement. "Great job, Ethan. Keep your back straight," she instructed, her voice steady and supportive. "Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress." Ethan's muscles protested at the unfamiliar movements, and there were moments of frustration when his body wouldn't cooperate. But Sarah was there, providing the motivation he needed to push through. "Every effort counts," she reminded him. "You're stronger than you think." The sessions quickly became a lifeline for Ethan. He looked forward to the challenge, the structure, and the support Sarah provided. She introduced him to adaptive sports, showing him that his athletic spirit could still thrive. "Have you ever tried wheelchair basketball?" she asked one day. "It's a great way to stay active and competitive." Ethan was hesitant at first, but Sarah's enthusiasm was contagious. He agreed to give it a try, and soon found himself enjoying the thrill of the game. It wasn't the same as running on the track or playing football, but it was a new way to channel his energy and passion for sports. Sarah's encouragement and belief in his abilities were instrumental in this transition. Outside of the sessions, Sarah provided resources and support for managing his condition. She connected him with support groups and online communities, reminding him that he wasn't alone in his journey. "There are many others out there facing similar challenges," she said. "Sharing your experiences can be incredibly empowering." Their relationship grew beyond therapist and patient. Sarah became a trusted friend and ally, someone Ethan could confide in and rely on. They shared stories, laughed, and celebrated each small victory together. Sarah's dedication to his progress and well-being was unwavering, and it fueled Ethan's determination to keep pushing forward. One day, after a particularly grueling session, Ethan collapsed onto a bench, breathing heavily. "I didn't think I could do that," he admitted, a mixture of exhaustion and pride in his voice. Sarah handed him a water bottle, her smile radiant. "You're capable of so much more than you realize, Ethan. Remember, it's all about taking those first steps. We'll face this together, one step at a time." With Sarah by his side, Ethan felt a renewed sense of hope. He knew the road ahead would be challenging, but he also knew he had the strength and support to navigate it. Their journey was just beginning, but already, the bond they had formed was a source of inspiration and resilience. Ethan's life had transformed into a series of daily battles against his degenerative muscular disease. Each day presented new challenges, testing his resilience and determination. But through it all, he found strength in his routine, in Sarah's unwavering support, and in his own unyielding spirit. Mornings were the hardest. Ethan would wake up feeling the stiffness in his muscles, a reminder of the relentless progression of his illness. Simple tasks like getting out of bed and dressing became monumental efforts. Yet, he faced each morning with a resolve to keep moving forward. One step at a time, he would tell himself, echoing Sarah's words. At the physiotherapy center, Sarah pushed him to his limits while providing the encouragement he needed. "Today, we're going to focus on endurance," she said during one session, guiding him through a series of exercises designed to strengthen his core and improve his balance. Ethan gritted his teeth through the pain, sweat dripping down his face, but he didn't give up. Sarah's presence was a constant source of motivation. "You're doing great, Ethan. Keep pushing. You're stronger than this disease." Outside of therapy, Ethan worked hard to maintain a sense of normalcy. He adapted his home to make daily tasks more manageable, using tools and devices that helped compensate for his weakening muscles. He also adjusted his diet, focusing on nutrition that would support his health and energy levels. Each adjustment was a reminder of the new reality he faced, but it also reinforced his determination to live as fully as possible. Social interactions posed their own set of challenges. Ethan's friends and family were supportive, but there were moments of awkwardness and pity that he found difficult to navigate. He struggled with accepting help, often feeling frustrated by his limitations. But Sarah's words echoed in his mind, reminding him that asking for help was not a sign of weakness but of strength. "It's okay to lean on others," she had told him. "We're all here for you." Despite the difficulties, there were moments of triumph that made the struggles worthwhile. One afternoon, during a particularly tough physiotherapy session, Ethan managed to stand unassisted for the first time in weeks. The sense of accomplishment was overwhelming, and Sarah's eyes shone with pride. "I knew you could do it," she said, her voice filled with genuine admiration. "You're amazing, Ethan." These small victories fueled Ethan's determination. He began to see each challenge not as a setback, but as an opportunity to prove his strength. Whether it was completing a difficult exercise, navigating a crowded room, or simply making it through the day without falling, each success was a testament to his resilience. The mental and emotional battles were just as intense. There were days when the weight of his diagnosis felt unbearable, when the future seemed bleak and uncertain. During these times, Ethan turned to Sarah for support. They would sit together, talking through his fears and frustrations. Sarah's empathy and understanding provided a safe space for Ethan to express his emotions without judgment. "It's okay to feel this way," she would reassure him. "What matters is that you keep fighting." Ethan also found solace in connecting with others who shared his experience. Through support groups and online communities, he discovered a network of individuals facing similar challenges. Their stories of perseverance and courage inspired him, reminding him that he was not alone in his journey. He began to share his own story, hoping to inspire others as well. As the weeks turned into months, Ethan's perspective began to shift. He learned to celebrate the small moments of joy and progress, to find beauty in the struggle. His relationship with Sarah deepened, their bond forged through countless hours of hard work and shared determination. She became more than his physiotherapist. She was his ally, his confidant, and his source of strength. Ethan's daily struggles were far from over, but he faced each one with a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that the road ahead would be filled with obstacles, but he also knew that he had the strength to overcome them. With Sarah by his side and a community of supporters behind him, he was ready to continue fighting, to continue living, and to continue inspiring others with his story. Ethan's journey was marked by the constant search for ways to stay active and engaged despite the limitations imposed by his degenerative muscular disease. Sarah, his ever-supportive physiotherapist, played a crucial role in helping him discover new avenues to channel his athletic spirit and inspire others along the way. One day, after a particularly intense therapy session, Sarah sat down with Ethan. "I've been thinking," she said, her eyes bright with excitement. "There are so many adaptive sports and activities that you can try. You might not be able to compete like you used to, but that doesn't mean you have to give up your love for sports." Ethan was intrigued but hesitant. "Like what?" he asked, curiosity piqued. "Have you heard of adaptive rock climbing?" Sarah suggested. "It's a fantastic way to stay active and challenge yourself. Plus, it's incredibly empowering." Ethan decided to give it a try. The first time he put on the adaptive climbing gear and faced the rock wall, he felt a familiar rush of adrenaline. With Sarah's guidance and the support of the climbing team, he began to ascend. It was tough. His muscles strained and his movements were slow, but the sense of achievement when he reached the top was overwhelming. The cheers from the ground filled him with pride. "I did it," he thought, a broad smile spreading across his face. Sarah continued to introduce him to various adaptive sports. Wheelchair basketball quickly became a favorite. The speed, strategy, and teamwork reminded Ethan of his days on the field. He found a local team and began to train with them regularly. The camaraderie and competitiveness reignited his passion for sports. During one game, after making a particularly difficult shot, Ethan felt the exhilaration he thought he had lost forever. His teammates rallied around him, their energy infectious. As Ethan delved deeper into the world of adaptive sports, he began to see the impact his journey could have on others. He started sharing his experiences on social media, posting videos of his training sessions, climbs, and basketball games. His story resonated with many, inspiring messages from people around the world who were facing their own challenges. "Your determination is incredible," one message read. "You've shown me that anything is possible, even when the odds are against us." Encouraged by the outpouring of support, Ethan decided to take his mission a step further. With Sarah's help, he organized a community event to raise awareness about adaptive sports and the importance of staying active despite physical limitations. The event was a huge success, drawing participants of all ages and abilities. Ethan gave a heartfelt speech, sharing his story and encouraging others to find their own paths to resilience and joy. "Don't let your limitations define you," he told the crowd. "Find what makes you feel alive and pursue it with everything you've got. There's always a way to stay active, to stay engaged, and to inspire others." The event also featured demonstrations of various adaptive sports, from wheelchair racing to sit-skiing. Watching people of all abilities engage in these activities was incredibly moving for Ethan. It reaffirmed his belief that physical limitations should never be a barrier to leading an active and fulfilling life. Sarah stood by his side throughout, her pride in Ethan evident. "You've come so far," she said, squeezing his hand. "Look at the impact you're making." Ethan's journey was a testament to the power of perseverance and the human spirit. By finding new ways to stay active, he not only reclaimed his love for sports, but also became a beacon of inspiration for others facing similar challenges. His story was one of overcoming adversity, finding strength in the face of difficulty, and proving that with the right mindset and support, anything is possible. As Ethan looked out over the sea of faces, all of whom had come to support and be inspired, he felt a profound sense of fulfillment. His journey was far from over, but he knew that with each new challenge, he would find a way to rise above it, to stay active, and to inspire others to do the same. With Sarah by his side and a community that believed in him, Ethan was ready to face whatever came next, one new activity at a time. Ethan's journey had been one of struggle, discovery, and incredible perseverance. But amidst all the challenges, a new and unexpected chapter was unfolding, one filled with love and renewal. His bond with Sarah had grown beyond the confines of patient and therapist, evolving into something deeper, something that neither of them had anticipated, but both had come to cherish. It started with small moments, shared smiles after a successful therapy session, lingering conversations about hopes and dreams, and the comfort of knowing they had each other's unwavering support. Ethan realized that his feelings for Sarah had grown into something more than admiration for her dedication and kindness. He found himself looking forward to their time together, not just for the physical progress, but for the connection and joy she brought into his life. One evening, after a particularly uplifting day of adaptive sports and community engagement, Ethan and Sarah sat on the porch of the physiotherapy center. The sun was setting, casting a warm golden glow over the landscape. Ethan turned to Sarah, his heart pounding. "There's something I need to tell you," he began, his voice trembling slightly. Sarah looked at him, her eyes full of curiosity and concern. "What is it, Ethan?" Taking a deep breath, Ethan continued, "You've been more than just a therapist to me. You've been my rock, my inspiration, and my friend. And somewhere along the way, I realized that I've fallen in love with you." The silence that followed felt like an eternity. Sarah's eyes widened, and then a slow, radiant smile spread across her face. "Ethan," she said softly, "I felt the same way for a long time. I was just afraid to say anything, not wanting to complicate your recovery." Ethan reached out, taking her hand in his. "My recovery wouldn't have been possible without you, Sarah. You've given me hope and strength, and I can't imagine my life without you." Their relationship blossomed from that moment. They navigated the new dynamics with care, balancing the professional with the personal. It wasn't always easy, but their shared commitment to each other and to Ethan's journey made it work. Their love became a source of strength, fueling Ethan's determination and bringing a new level of joy and fulfillment to both their lives. Together, they continued to explore new activities and sports, finding ways to challenge and inspire each other. They traveled to adaptive sports events, sharing their story and motivating others to overcome their own obstacles. Their bond deepened with each adventure, each shared triumph, and each quiet moment of understanding and support. One particular milestone stood out, a marathon for adaptive athletes. Ethan decided to participate, using a specially designed hand cycle. The race was grueling, testing his physical and mental limits. But with Sarah cheering him on from the sidelines, he felt an unstoppable drive. As he crossed the finish line, the crowd erupted in applause, and Sarah rushed to his side, tears of pride and joy streaming down her face. "You did it, Ethan!" she exclaimed, wrapping her arms around him. "I'm so proud of you." Ethan smiled, his heart swelling with gratitude and love. "We did it, Sarah. I couldn't have done any of this without you." Their journey together was not just about overcoming a disease. It was about finding new paths to happiness and fulfillment. They supported each other through the tough times and celebrated every victory, big or small. Their love story was a testament to the power of resilience and the beauty of finding hope and joy in the most unexpected places. As they looked to the future, Ethan and Sarah knew that there would be more challenges ahead. But they also knew that together, they could face anything. Their journey was one of love and renewal, a new chapter filled with promise and possibility. And with each passing day, they continued to inspire each other and everyone around them, proving that love and determination could conquer any obstacle. Their story was far from over, but they faced it with a sense of hope and excitement, ready to embrace whatever came next on their shared journey.